Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. I am here to burst the bubble of all of you in the top 1% of this hobby watching this channel. Because inevitably, every single time I make a video showing any kind of data or sales statistics, I get blown up in the comment section with a lot of people telling me somehow those sales are illegitimate for a slew of different reasons. They'll even reach out to me privately and send screenshots of sales. And it brought me to this video to really help all of you get in the mindsets of the 99% of this hobby so you can understand how to invest better, how to collect better, how to reach the end consumer and understand the items that you buy and how the end consumer will receive them in the future. So sit back, relax, and I'm going to go ahead and rant about this for a little bit, and hopefully you can take something out of it. So, what I'm talking about is, in my last video, I showed how you would have done investing in modern sealed product, XY, Sun and Moon, and Sword and Shield boxes, if you were to buy them at full market price January 1st, 2023, and then hold them until January 1st, 2024. Now, when I took the buy prices, they were full market price. When I took the sell prices, they were confirmed sales, whether it be on TCG Player or eBay, buy it now full price, or an auction sale. And people were unhappy because some of the boxes sell for a lot more on some platforms than the other. And so they feel that it's somehow illegitimate when a box sells for so much more on TCG Player than what it will sell for on eBay. I'm here to tell you, I've sold multiple products, I've seen multiple products, let's say sell on TCG Player for $500 a box, and the same day go for auction at $350 on eBay, and the same day one sell for $400, buy it now on eBay. And so you're asking yourself, why would anyone pay $500 for the same box they could have bought for $350 or $400? That must be an illegitimate sale, or those ones on eBay must have had something wrong with them, or, you know, they were illegitimate, they were unauthentic products, they were from zero feedback sellers. None of those are the case, by the way. And this is the issue we run into, is the top 1% of you, which is most of you watching me, you get so caught up in your own thought process and your own mindset that you no longer can reach or you no longer can relate to the average consumer, and this flaws your thinking with your collecting and your investing, right? You get really deep into the fundamentals of things, and you think that everyone else should care about those fundamentals, and the truth is, most of this hobby, okay, one, they don't care about the pop reports. A lot of them don't even know what the pop reports are. Two, they don't care or know about the print runs, or if there were reprints and how big those reprints are and how much supply's out there, or whatever, all that. They don't care about that, okay? They don't care about the release of the single and how special the release was, and if it's a, you know, exclusive, or if it's a, you know, whatever it may be. They don't care about all that. What they care about, they want the product, they want the card. It's shiny, it's cool, they like it. They want to find a platform and a seller that they feel safe and secured buying from, and when they can afford that item, they buy that item. Simple as that. That's all there is to it. I'm going to burst your bubble here too. You know that a lot of people in this hobby do not even know the PokemonCenter.com exists? It's the truth. I have a friend that I've invested with since 2016. He didn't know what the Pokemon Center was until recently. He's always only bought off eBay or TCG Player his whole life. That's it. That's it. There's a lot of people in this hobby. I've had probably over 100 people, in the 2 years or so I've been on YouTube reach out to me when I've mentioned or shown the PokemonCenter.com in a video, asking me, Alex, what is this? What site is this? Is this a trusted seller? Is it a trusted seller? It's Pokemon. It's the company itself. And so when people see boxes on TCG Player or eBay selling for more than what they're going for on the PokemonCenter.com, they immediately think, well, they can't go any higher because it's not sold out on the PokemonCenter.com. It's selling for less on there. That's not true. It's not even close to being true. I mean, you can find PCE right, on the market right now selling for large amounts more, and they're still in stock in the Pokemon Center for a lot less. You can do the same thing with booster boxes. You can do the same thing with other products. The fact of the matter is, a lot of the hobby, a lot of the consumers just don't even know or don't even bother to buy off the PokemonCenter.com. Also, there's a lot of buyers who stick to one site. They'll just buy off eBay or they'll just buy off TCG Player. So whatever the lowest list is at that point, that's where they buy. Here's another crazy part that'll blow your mind. A lot of buyers don't even sort by lowest list. They just type in what they want, best matches appear, usually the sponsored ones are up top that sell for a lot more, they'll buy one of those. And that's when people see these sales that are so much higher than what other ones have been selling for, they think it's somehow an illegitimate sale. Nope. That's someone who just went and searched by best match and bought the first one at the top of the page. It happens. Believe me, it happens. And then we go into other auction sites, right? People think that everyone pays attention to every sale that happens. Guys, probably less than the 1% pay attention to all that. So when you're paying attention to all these different sites and you're looking at PWCC and Golden and Heritage and Rare Candy and all these different sites, and you are trying to compare those sales data to like eBay sales data for graded slabs, it doesn't correlate, right? Because you could have a slab sell for $1,000 today. It could go at auction for $950 tomorrow, and it could sell at the end of the week for $1,100, buy it now. And then you could have that same slab sell on one of those other smaller auction platforms for $775 the week after. Does that mean the price suddenly dropped 20%, 30%? No, not by a long shot. It means that there's such a smaller buyer pool on those websites. There's a lot less people that had eyes on that item at that time, and because of that, the auction went lower. You could probably turn around and flip that same exact card once you get it in on eBay, and it'll still go for that $950 to $1,100 range at auction. And it's because that's where the most eyes are at. Still to this day, eBay still has the biggest buyer pool. It's not even close. Which brings me to another point I want to get into is being a informed buyer and being an informed seller, right? A lot of us, right, we look everywhere when we're buying an item. We check with people on Discords and Instagrams and Facebook groups. We're looking at eBay, TCG Player. We have email lists set up from all these different LGSs and independent websites all sending us deals, and we're trying to find the best deal. It's $1 cheaper here. It's $2 cheaper here. There's a TCG Player discount or deal or percentage back. There's eBay bucks, and we're always looking for any type of deal we can squeeze out, right? Oh, there's TikTok coupons again. Guess what? 99% of people, you guessed it, they don't do that. They just don't. They see a product come out or a card they like, right? They save up their money when they can afford it. They buy it from a trusted platform they've bought from before, right? That's why Amazon, eBay are so big. And they just buy it. They don't shop around a million different, they just buy it. And this whole mentality in this community, this 1% of Pokemon investing, people lose sight of that. And they get real deep in the hobby and they start listening to all the people, all these really deep people like the 1% of the 1%. And they start talking about all these, Japanese exclusives and these pop reports and these special releases and the print runs and all these different things, right? And they get sucked into it and they start investing and collecting based on that. The issue is 99.9% of people do not care. They don't care. They don't give a crap. And so when you go to sell those things in the future, you have such a minuscule buyer pool, and then people get angry about it. They get angry that people should care. They should want this. They should understand it's smarter to buy this card than this modern Moonbryon. They should get this. We need to somehow educate them on to how to make them a better buyer. It's never going to happen. People are going to continue to want what they want. And sure, there's markets for those more niche items, but they're much smaller, right? It's going to be less liquid. It's going to take longer to sell, and you're going to have to hope the right people want that card when you're ready to sell. And so just because there's a lot of different people in this hobby doing a lot of different things, it doesn't make any of it illegitimate. Now, I'm not talking about that there aren't scams and there aren't shill bids and there aren't fake sales going on out there. What I'm saying is 99% of the time, there's not. There's not. It's just things sell for different prices on different platforms. And if you're going to be an informed buyer, well, you need to be an informed seller as well, right? Or else you're just being stupid. Because if you see these sales going for less on eBay and you see confirmed sales going more on TCG Player, when you go to sell your item, would you not sell it on TCG Player? Now, some people say, no, I just want to stick to one platform. It's easier for me. And that's fine. That's a legitimate excuse. I get that. But if you're really trying to maximize your profit, wouldn't you sell it where you can get more for it? And then when that box sells, right, and you ship it to the customer and they get it and they're happy, they leave a good review, that's a legitimate sale. And that's a legitimate sales metric. And so if I use that in a video, there's nothing wrong with that just because you could find it cheaper somewhere else. That just means you're being a better buyer, but it doesn't take away from the fact that consumers will pay those prices. And so going forward, that's kind of my challenge to all of you out there to become better investors, is try to step outside yourself a little bit. Try to get outside those real deep communities, having those real deep discussions and all the fundamental discussions, and try to step outside and understand, where are the 99% of my customers coming from? What are the 99% of people going to continue to want and continue to pay for in the future? Because it's going to be very different than what you're hearing from a lot of the real deep people on what they think people are going to want. Because they are most of the time thinking on what they want, or what they would feel are valuable, or what they think things should be worth. When really you need to be listening to the market, because the market is very disconnected from that 1%. Just like in real life, how the 99% of people are very disconnected from the 1% billionaires, it's the same way in Pokemon. The 99% are very disconnected from the thought processes of the 1%, and because of that, a lot of those people in the 1% get very pissed off that their items don't rise in value, they don't sell, they're illiquid, they're not rising at the rate they should, that people should care about the things they care about because of X, Y, and Z. They just don't, right? Maybe someone wants to open a Sword and Shield booster box and you all are going to say, why would you do that? There's nothing to pull. It just has the Marnie. It's $250. There's no reason to ever open that box. Just go buy the card you want. Or, why would you invest in that box? It's already $250. It's a lackluster set. The only reason it's high is because it spiked up during the pandemic times when there wasn't enough supply. You should go buy X, Y, or Z box. That's a much better investment. That person doesn't care. Maybe they got into the hobby then. Maybe they remember pulling that. Maybe they're starting to collect and they want one of every box or whatever it may be, and they can afford it, and they find a platform and a seller they feel confident and comfortable buying from, and they buy it. And that happens every single day in this hobby. And as much as people want to gripe and moan and groan about why things should be a certain way or shouldn't be a certain way, that's the way they are. The market is the market, and you can either play into it, or you can buy and collect and invest in what you want to and continue to get angry and mad that, things don't go your way. So that's all I got today, guys. Hope you found some value in it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing to the channel. And other than that, be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.